Hello, welcome everyone. I am Dr. Seattle Wallace. I am a former professor and researcher turned social entrepreneur, and I am here to support women of color in STEM who are new in their careers or are in graduate school working towards starting their careers in STEM. I'm here today to really talk to you about starting something new. I'm starting something new. So this is something that's been on my mind. And I thought, you know what, let me be here to share with you some of the things that I'm, kind of figuring out and working through myself. And I want to just provide you with 5 tips on how to get through the nerves that you may have, the doubt and the anxiety that you may be feeling about stepping out into the new phase in your life, whether that be with your STEM career or whether that might even be with a move that you've made, because a lot of times in STEM, when we're trying to do something new with a job or moving to school, it requires a physical move to a different location. So you might be someplace that you don't even know anybody, right? And that can be really scary. So the number one thing that I want to say is acknowledge the fear. Like, just say, I'm scared. This feels weird. I'm anxious. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what's next. It feels uncomfortable. It's very important for you to be very clear about how you're feeling, because that way that you can take the steps to be able to figure out what to do next. And you can get support if you need that too, if it really gets out of hand. You hear the term fake it till you make it all the time. And I'm saying, yes, you should definitely try to make it, but you shouldn't fake it to yourself. Like, with yourself, you have to be comfortable with yourself enough to say, okay, I can be honest with myself and say that this doesn't feel too comfortable. Like, I'm not really feeling this fear. So one of the things that I know that I have learned over the years is that you can feel the fear, and it doesn't mean that you can't do it. It doesn't even mean that it's the wrong thing for you to be doing. It actually probably means that it's the right thing for you to be doing, because if you weren't scared, it'd be like, why not? You actually don't know what's going on. So a little bit of fear is human. We have to take that fear and switch it around. And one way that you can do that is by really thinking about what it is that you are good at, whether it's something that you did in the past, whether it's thinking about the small things that you're doing right now, which I would say the fact that you're doing something new is a strength, because there are a lot of people that sit back and don't do new things. So you're doing something new. That's strength number 1. So you can check that off. And then you make another list of all the other things that you're good at. And you remind yourself constantly. Because again, it's not so much about like, I'm bigging myself up, I'm bragging, I'm this. That's good too. Don't get me wrong. I'm all for celebration and acknowledgement of yourself. But this is about knocking the fear out. And the way to do that is to hit it on the head constantly with positive things about yourself so that the fear can dissipate. It's like a little monster that likes to grow if you give it the energy to do that. And what I'm saying to you is the strengths will knock it down. And so you may have to go what might feel like a little bit overboard by constantly saying, oh, I was so good at this today. And oh, I went ahead and I said hello to my boss and he said hi back. And I felt really excited. Like, you may have to like literally pick at every little thing in order to bring yourself back out of that fear stage. But that's okay, because that's the purpose of it. And like, sooner or later, you'll realize, you know what, I'm not as nervous as I used to be. Like 3 weeks ago, I would like wake up in the morning and be like, oh man, I don't know if I'm going to be able to like raise my hand in class. And then a month later, you will, because you've been filling your bucket. Number 3, don't compare yourself to other people in life in general, but definitely not right now. Like right now, you are in a phase of vulnerability because you're feeling that fear. And like I said, with that fear monster, it likes to feed off of the negativity, and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And one of the negativities could be you sitting and you're on socials, looking at other people, you're at work or school and saying, well, I wonder how they're able to raise their hand all day and act like they know the answers. I don't know how to do that. Something wrong with me? No, nothing's wrong with you. Stop comparing yourself. You don't know who that person is. You don't know where they've been. They could be scared too. So don't compare. as much as you can, if you start to recognize yourself comparing, block it out. If you know that you're comparing when you're on socials, cut it out. Just if you have to be on socials for some reason, maybe it's part of your job, then you time it. You say only for this, use the app and you just say, let me just block it out. Because right now at this particular phase, you don't need anything else that's gonna make you even more anxious than you already are. Number 4, take on a growth mindset. And what a growth mindset is, if you don't already know, it is the idea that you want to learn and you recognize that the actual goal is to be learning. It's not about getting it right. It's not about getting an A. It's not about even getting your degree. It's about, I'm learning something new. I'm here to become better. I'm here to figure out how I can make something work. And hey, we're in STEM. That's what STEM is supposed to be all about. It's supposed to be all about figuring things out, analyzing, not knowing the answers. But in reality, I think a lot of us don't necessarily take that on when we think about how we are doing well in things, right? We might take the scientific exercise and say, oh, I'm figuring it out. But when it comes to thinking about how our life is panning out, we don't realize that that same approach is really good. I would say as a woman of color in STEM, I know that many of us have been very used to doing well in school, getting good grades, getting our degrees, getting our science fair and competitions and those types of things, and getting lots of ribbons and awards. And I will say that that's a good thing. I want to celebrate any and everything that we are doing in a positive way, but those are not the end all. The end all is, what have I learned? How have I become better because of this process? When you're in school and you may be hearing things or learning things that you may have to really work hard to figure out how to even do it, or you may not be able to remember all the information that's being thrown at you, it can feel frustrating because you may feel like, oh, I may not be good enough to do this. But at the end of the day, with a growth mindset, what you would realize is that, oh no, now I'm learning how to take on new information. Now I'm learning how to create a new strategy for time management, or I'm going to go and meet with someone so I can build up my technical skills. This is good. This is growth. Oh, I'm winning, right? So you're taking on a whole new perspective on the struggle of learning something new. 5, very, very important, enjoy the process. Something new, again, you get all excited, you're in that vibe, I'm going to put my outfit on for my first day. And then you get nervous and then you're like, oh man, I don't like this anymore. I don't like the fact that my professor really doesn't like anything that I'm turning in. I get all these comments and it makes it seem like I don't really know what I'm doing. And now all of a sudden you don't know what to do. You feel like maybe I shouldn't be doing this anymore. Maybe I made a mistake. What I'm saying to you is that do your best to enjoy what this is, which is a process. New things go through the phase of excitement and hype, and then all of a sudden you do start to feel that fear a little bit more, and then you might even get to the place where that fear starts to get to you a little bit. And I'm saying snatch that fear back. And the way you do that is by enjoying the process, seeing the things that you are learning, recognizing the strengths that you're bringing to the table, patting yourself on the back for starting something new. Really do your best to enjoy the small things that you can, because at the end of the day, that's what it's really all about. I want you to leave some comments here and let me know, what new phase are you in? Are in a new phase and you feel like you want some encouragement, you want to be around other people that are going through the same transition that you are, people that have just gotten through that transition, come and check out what we're doing at Women of Color STEM Leadership Lab. Details below. Until later, remember, you are not just meant to make it in STEM. You were meant to thrive.